Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Asia Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 28th of December. India blames Pakistan huge reunion of Kulbhushan Jadhav with family as a propaganda tool. Blast at Afghan news agency in Kabul kills more than 40. And winter carnival attracts crowds in eastern India. And now for all the details. India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Thursday hit out at Pakistan and blamed it for using emotional meeting between Indian national Kulbhushan Jadhav, his mother and wife as a propaganda tool. Jadhav is on a death row in Pakistan on charges of espionage.
India's Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj on Thursday slammed Pakistan over the treatment meted out to the mother and wife of Indian national Kulbhushan Jadhav during their meeting with the death row prisoner in Islamabad. She blamed Jadhav's family was subjected to harassment when they met him on Monday, with the Pakistani press allowed to harass and hector them and hurl false and loaded accusations about Jadhav. While addressing the parliament, Swaraj also cautioned Pakistan's claim that a recording device or a chip was found inside Jadhav's wife's shoes, which were never returned. She termed Pakistan's allegation as absurd beyond measure and propaganda.
22 महीने बाद एक माँ की अपने बेटे से और एक पत्नी की अपने पति से होने वाली भाव भरी भेंट को पाकिस्तान ने एक प्रोपेगेंडा के हथियार के रूप में इस्तेमाल किया.
Jadhav was tried before a Pakistani military court and sentenced to death in April on charges of espionage. The International Court of Justice or ICJ ordered Pakistan to delay Jadhav's execution in May on India's appeal pending the final verdict by it. India has repeatedly rejected Pakistan's account of Jadhav's activities and maintains that he had been kidnapped in Iran.
Indian government on Thursday introduced a bill in the parliament aimed at prosecuting Muslim men who divorce their wives through triple talaq or instant divorce. The bill, if approved, would make the practice a non-bailable offence with some years of jail term.
Indian government on Thursday introduced a bill in the parliament aimed at prosecuting Muslim men who divorce their wives through triple talaq or instant divorce. In August, India's apex court had made the instant divorce illegal as it allows Muslim men to divorce their wives simply by uttering the word talaq 3 times. Muslim women had petitioned the court, arguing the practice of husbands divorcing them through triple talaq even by using social media platforms.
ये कानून है नारी न्याय, नारी गरिमा और नारी सम्मान का. दूसरी बात मैं कहना चाहूंगा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने तलाक के बिद्दत को गैर कानूनी कहा. अगर उसके बाद भी 3 तलाक चलता है, लोग महिलाएं सड़कों पे फेंक दी जाती हैं, उनके गुजारे का कोई इंतजाम नहीं होता है, तो क्या ये सदन खामोश रहेगी?
A member of All India Muslim Personal Law Board over the bill said it is directly interfering with the Muslim personal law and government has no right to outlaw triple talaq.
The parliament lacks legislative competence because this bill violates the fundamental rights. Secondly, madam, this bill lacks basic legal coherence and is inconsistent with existing legal framework.
Many Muslim countries, including neighboring Pakistan and conservative Saudi Arabia, have banned triple talaq. It survived in India as a secular country, allows religious communities to apply their own laws in personal matters such as marriage and divorce. The bill, if approved, would make the practice a non-bailable offence with a possible 3-year jail term.
Moving on, pro-freedom Baloch activists across the globe have intensified their peaceful protests against Pakistan in recent months. Billboard advertisements have now been put up across New York City to highlight gross human rights violations inflicted upon the Baloch people in southwestern Balochistan province by Pakistani forces.
The World Baloch Organization, or WBO, has launched a billboard campaign carrying the slogan free Balochistan from human rights abuses by Pakistan across the iconic Times Square in New York City. The billboards up in the heart of New York will remain there as the city celebrates New Year's Eve. The campaign aims to raise awareness among Americans about the ethnic persecution and gross human rights violations by Pakistani forces in Balochistan. Baloch activists have long accused the Pakistani establishment of forcibly taking control of the land and resources of the ethnic Baloch people and committing extrajudicial killings. They claim attempts to highlight the situation in Balochistan have long been repressed, and such campaigns can be very effective in highlighting the situation.
In news from Afghanistan, more than 40 persons were killed in a suicide bomb attack in Afghanistan's capital city, Kabul, on Thursday. Militant group Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attack.
A suicide attack on an office of an Afghan news agency and a neighboring Shiite cultural center in capital Kabul killed dozens on Thursday. Interior Ministry Deputy Spokesman Nasrat Rahimi said at least 40 people had been killed and 30 wounded in the blast, the latest in a series to have hit media organizations in Kabul. Many of the victims were students attending a discussion on the anniversary of the Soviet invasion of the country.
I saw many dead people in the area. I was looking for my cousin, but I could not find his body, and I'm not sure what happened to him.
Militant group Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attack. Thursday's explosion was the latest in a wave of violence that has killed and injured thousands of civilians in Afghanistan this year.
More on news from Afghanistan. A number of religious scholars on Wednesday urged Afghan President Ashraf Ghani to consider allowing the Taliban to open a political office in Kabul. They suggested the move will pave way for peace with the resurgent group.
A number of religious scholars on Wednesday suggested Afghan President Ashraf Ghani should consider allowing the Taliban to open a political office in capital Kabul city. The religious scholars gave the suggestion at the end of a two-day conference in Kabul by the High Peace Council or HPC, which was held in an effort to pave solid grounds for peace with the resurgent group. The scholars said the move will help to strengthen chances of engaging in peace talks with the group inside the country. Ghani further said the Taliban should come and sit with the government at the inter-Afghan dialogue to reach a peace deal if they consider themselves Afghans. This comes at a time when the Afghan government is preparing to convene the Kabul peace process meeting. The government is set to announce its strategy of peace with the Taliban at the global summit.
Moving on to news from Nepal, Chairman of Nepal's CPN UML and CPN Maoist Center on Wednesday finally held a meeting to discuss unification of their parties. The meeting was much awaited as the parties had decided to unite soon after parliamentary and provincial polls in the country.
Chiefs of Nepal CPN UML and CPN Maoist Center KP Sharma Oli and Pushpa Kamal Dahal on Wednesday finally held a meeting to discuss unification of their parties. The leaders during the much-awaited meeting, apart from their unification, also discussed government formation and the National Assembly Ordinance. They also exchanged views on the role of the Election Commission to facilitate an environment conducive for the formation of a new government. With this meeting, Oli and Dahal have forged consensus to speed up the unification process. Earlier suspicions were on the rise as the two leaders were not sitting for a meeting slated to discuss their unification. CPN UML and CPN Maoist Center had forged a leftist alliance along with other minor parties ahead of recently held parliamentary and provincial polls in Nepal.
An expert team appointed by the Indian government on Wednesday visited cyclone-hit Kochi city in southern India to review ongoing relief work. The team is likely to meet more representatives during its visit to finalize the more amount of help required.
A team of experts appointed by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led government on Wednesday visited Cyclone Oki hit Kochi city in India's southern Kerala province. Last month, Cyclone Oki ravaged India's southern Kerala and Tamil Nadu provinces before barreling into Lakshadweep, killing at least 70. The team reviewed the situation in villages of Kochi to look into the ongoing relief works. The team is also likely to meet more representatives to finalize the amount and percentage of help required. Meanwhile, Fishermen Association in the province demanded modern machinery in the relief operations and more funds.
We already demanded only 15 crore rupees as immediate relief. But in the long run, in the long term, we need at least 100 crore rupees for the rehabilitation or reconstruction of this sector.
Earlier this month, Prime Minister Modi also visited the cyclone-hit areas, during which he chaired reviewed meetings in the aftermath of the disaster. Post his visit, the federal government sanctioned around $50 million for relief work.
A paraplegic rehabilitation center in India's western Pune city is proving a second chance at life to defense personnel who got critically wounded while serving the nation. The center aims to provide care and treatment to soldiers and help them become self-reliant.
A paraplegic rehabilitation center, or PRC, in India's western Pune city is providing a second chance at life to soldiers who got critically wounded while serving the nation. The institute symbolizes the effort of the army to mitigate the sufferings of gallant soldiers who are paralyzed due to spinal cord injuries or have other paraplegic injuries. Soldiers exercise and work in workshops to keep themselves busy. Some indulge in painting while others play basketball to keep negative vibes at bay.
Actually, we are hanging 91 soldiers. Out of that, 40 soldiers are quadriplegic. The 4 limbs are not working, and 51 Jawan paraplegic, 2 limbs are not working.
हम लोग रोज कंटिन्यूस शाम को एक्सरसाइज करता है, उसके बाद कुछ छोटा सा काम है उधर ही वर्कशॉप में, वो भी काम करता है, उससे टाइम पास हो जाता है. उसी वजह से सभी मिलकर खुशी से रहता है. उसी वजह से हमारा जो बीमारी का जो फीलिंग है वो हमारा मन में नहीं आता है.
Hundreds of soldiers lose their lives while fighting on the battlefield. The Paraplegic Rehabilitation Center, inaugurated in 1974, aims to help ex-servicemen become self-reliant.
A 9-day-long winter carnival to promote tourism and communal harmony is ongoing in India's West Bengal province. Scores of people are flocking the carnival to enjoy various culture performances and activities.
A 9-day-long winter carnival is attracting scores of visitors and music lovers to Midnapur city of India's West Bengal province. A number of traditional performances by local artists and singers are enthralling the audiences during the ongoing carnival. The carnival, which began on December 23rd, aims to promote communal harmony and familiarize the visitors with the ethos of the province.
আমাদের মেইন আকর্ষণ যেমন দেশ বিদেশ থেকে আর্টিস্টরা আসছে, ইজিপ্ট থেকে এসছে তানোরা ডান্সের জন্য, রাশিয়া থেকে ডান্সার্সরা আসছে, আমাদের পোল্যান্ড থেকে ডিজে আসছে ডিজে নিনা, সাইবেরিয়া থেকে ডিজে আসছে ডিজে জুলিয়া প্লিজ, এছাড়া আমাদের এখানকার রয়েছে ফসিলস রয়েছে, অনুপম রয় রয়েছে.
Of course it's making harmony between all people and different religions.
Is this your first visit in West Bengal?
Yes, this first time I visit Bangalore.
So what is your feelings? What is your message?
My message in my dance, no different between color or shape or something like this. We are all humans.
With the festive spirits high, the carnival is expected to pull in more crowds. The 9-day-long colourful carnival will conclude on New Year's Eve.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/AsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @AsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.